World War II actually was a boon for the gay rights movement. Prior to the war, no one talked about being gay, or it was treated as a psychological disorder in the U.S. According to Kinsey's research, homosexuals on the far end of the sexual spectra are only about 3%. Those in the middle could have had a perfectly happy heterosexual relationship, but that of the 3% population must have felt like there was something horribly wrong with them and kept everything bottled up, as there was no one they could feel safe sharing their feelings with. During the war, however, these farm boys from the sticks were sent to the military melting pot. Men from the U.S. and Europe fought side by side with people they would have never had the chance to speak with otherwise. To their surprise, they realized they weren't crazy or abnormal. There were actually people like them out there, and they were not alone. The Center for Inquiry has the same effect on atheists and free thinkers in my community, as we can feel as if we're not alone and isolated in our quest and understanding of the universe. Once connections start being made faster and faster, the brain begins to become more conscious of the world and begins to develop morals that don't rely on punishment or an authority figure as in religion, but instead it starts doing things for the sake of others and realizing that if the community does well, they will do well too. However, in the early stages of this awareness, there's usually a dramatic split from their parents in a stage of rebellion, or just with moving away and realizing that there was no one there to tell them anymore what to do. Much like a kid who goes off to college in slacks because they don't have their mom telling them what to do, loss of belief usually comes prior to building the mental constructs needed to be good and be careful. Many who quit the religion are not taught self-control and critical thinking in the religion and may rush toward indulgence and gullibility. They want the freedom without having to grow up. Mysticism is sometimes like the angsty emo teen or the college kid who just realized freedom and rebellion from its parents, and they may or may not go crazy and do damaging things, as they believe things like karma may exist and will end up hurting them in the long run. Some people stay stuck in this mindset all their lives, just like many people stay stuck in the religious, unquestioning mindset all their lives. While these people may be self-centered, gullible, and immature, their children may rebel against this and learn to embrace skepticism. In most atheistic countries of Estonia and the Czech Republic, horoscopes and mysticisms are widespread. However, I have a feeling that America would match them in mysticism if our religion wasn't telling us they were satanic. China has never had a need for a daddy figure, as they had a government that was ridiculously structured, and mysticism is rampant in their medicine, feng shui, and local folk deities and ancestor worship, even though they are an atheist nation. In New Zealand, Christianity is the #1 religion at 57% compared to the 87% in the US. However, the next largest religion is Jedi at 1.5%. The second largest group has no need for religion. Jedi gives hope and spirituality for people who aren't yet ready to grow up and face reality, yet it gives them an intro to philosophical thinking. Deism is kind of like the guy living on mom's couch who needs the parent figure but wants to live their own life for the most part, unless that mom is a really naggy mom. As our communication evolves, I have a feeling more and more people will have their preconceived notions challenged by new and better ideas, even if there are areas just like in the brain that refuse to mature and slows the progression of society as a whole. It's been found that the chances of a person over 50 years of age has about a 5% or less chance of changing their religion. A person of that age tends to be set in their ways and either not likely to change their thinking or are very likely to forcefully resist any change. Unless these people made it a priority to keep their minds open and supple and ready to receive new information, they are more likely to be a hindrance on the advancement of society than a help, especially if big companies can play on their fear of change to ensure that they themselves don't have to change their destructive or dishonest practices, or they can increase what they are doing. These people are like Alzheimer's cells that slow down the growth of the nation. In Alzheimer patients, they recommend constant brain exercises like logic puzzles, so that their brains can form new pathways around the Alzheimer clusters. Skepticism and critical thinking require constant practice to maintain and keep a rational mind. Skeptical atheism is the person who can look at the world and realize their place in the universe and society, who can see the reality and its ugliness, and instead of getting depressed, can find hope and excitement, as the study of reality can help improve the reality as opposed to ignoring and hiding from it, hoping it goes away.